little bit of an identity crisis with this season, given the success historically of Panda and of Yukio as well. You know, former LAN winner multiple times, but now with the addition of Jorius in the roster, they're going through the same kind of growing pains as they did with Astral, and they're not going to get, you know, any time to rest against the Barca team who just came off a sweep against BDS. It was a sweep against them. But we watched that, we just casted that game, and all of you guys who also watched it will know that Barca played pretty well, despite the fact that they took a 3-0 loss. And yeah, Dignitas have it rough here.
Barca are going to come into this like it's a whole new game that they've downloaded. They're going to look and just go, wait, there is like 5 times the field that we got to see.
Oh, look, this is actually it's a rectangle.
Wait, there's an orange side?
Oh my goodness, there's another goal over this end.
They'll be very happy. They'll be spreading their wings, and Itachi looks to add an extra one to the leaders. Actually, Barca, well, that was certainly odd. They're going to keep pressure for the time being.
They just wanted to use a new faking quick chat.
Yeah.
Get it in there.
They've got some dailies, have they?
Yeah, they're going for a couple of fakes there. Definitely going to catch Dignitas out of position, catch them off guard. Yeah, from Dignitas, I mean, it's a very difficult thing to come up with a solution to the problems that they've been having, because there are often like so many issues with new rosters. It doesn't always click. You don't always get that honeymoon period, and Dignitas, they definitely didn't get that. So I think it's just all about the confidence for them. And oh dear, it's not going to help if they keep getting beaten to the punch like this. Roniki makes it 2-0. This has been easy for Barca so far.
Yeah, and they're just spreading out every single player left to right. Eventually the ball lands on Roniki's hood. And yes, it has been interesting for Dignitas in terms of the identity they've had to go for, because it's very difficult. You know, there's not really much time off this season. You've got constant tournaments going, you've got constant competition, and all the time you think to yourself, well, I've got to be winning this, as Yukio wins the race to the ball. And that is going to cut the lead down in half. Itachi gets absolutely dunked on. That makes life very easy for Yukio.
Yeah, that was a big read by Jorius. Itachi was looking to go around him off the sidewall, but Jorius predicted that. He knew that the clear straight down the middle was just less likely in that position, and read Itachi's play perfectly. He got the open net for his teammate Yukio. Yeah, Jorius definitely a player with insane potential. Anyone who's watched this guy's career so far will know that if we're talking just raw mechanical ability, he's up there with the absolute best in the game. But to produce those kind of mechanics consistently, that's another story entirely. Now, this is more promising. Well, Panda's shot is more of a clear, though. Jorius continued to play that assist role quite well at the moment, though. There's multiple effective passes. And again, he finds Yukio. Look at that play by Jorius and Yukio. They are connecting again in offense.
I have got to see this. How on earth did Yukio manage that one? That is incredible by Yukio. Well, there was a 2-0. We're turning around. We're like, all right, Barca, you look like you're having a great time here. And Dignitas, double fire, back into this one. Violent Panda looks to clear long. He might actually be able to follow this. He does. Double commit from Barca. It's not going to be what they want to see, but Dignitas so slow on the midfield take-up. We'll see that as a missed opportunity, and instead it's a pass over to Itachi. And Dignitas was so hands-off that Barca were able to just take this down to the other side of the field and get their chance.
No, that is just not the play in that position from Jorius. You know, chipping the ball off the corner wall, it might seem like a good idea. You think, okay, they're never going to see this coming. I'm going to pass to myself off the defensive corner wall. Then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to collect the ball again. Haha. Except everybody always sees it coming. So it's really not a play you see very often because it doesn't work. And it didn't work here. Jorius is losing possession immediately, getting a goal scored against them because Barca, they connect with infield passes very well. That was another well-timed pass and shot. And Itachi gets his first goal of the game. And once again, Devo finds Itachi in the middle. I guess we're just going to go 2 goals about this game.
Yeah, this is... They're just chasing after this in the corners where they should be able to read the plays quite easily. I think they're just cutting through the midfield of the goal too much, and it means that they have to end up going for it. But, you know, you compare how Dignitas are dealing with Barca compared to how BDS were dealing with them. BDS are happy to let that play come into the midfield because they know they can reach it as it starts meeting. Heck, you can even get situations like we saw Roniki diving in for a play and BDS just being that little bit quicker. But Dignitas seems so scared of even allowing the play to happen that they're getting caught by it anyway because they're not getting to it quick enough.
Well, it is a difficult thing because, we're talking about the mechanics of Joreuz there. A lot of those mechanical plays are a bit more slow and methodical. If we're talking pure accuracy at speed, Yukio's definitely playing with enough speed right now. That was almost on target as well for his 3rd goal of the game. Yeah, I don't think Dignitas can hang anywhere near BDS level. Playing at that kind of pace with the same accuracy that BDS do, it's just not there. I think if Dignitas try to do that, they're going to start mishitting the ball, and they're not going to connect their passes together that they want to be going for. So it's already a harder matchup for them just because they are more limited by what they're capable of in the speed department. But BDS have got so much more to their game than just that. They've been reading the game so effectively as well. So yeah, Barca will have the edge here just because they're not getting dominated like they were against BDS. They're not getting completely shut down into their half, and they're actually dominating their opponents. That's a great demo. And it leaves an open net for Devo.
Yeah, I feel like after you've had a whole 15 minutes, well, 23 minutes actually, given how the last series was, of your 3rd man getting constantly demoed, you might turn around to it and just say, well, yeah, that looks like a good fun idea, actually. I'm going to start doing that. That's for Dignitas. These clears, diabolical so far. They are really causing their own problems a lot of the time. And you get the feeling like, okay, don't even try and outplay everyone, but at least get the challenge. At least, do something to try and start trading evenly with Barca, because right now it's just, I feel like they're asking too much of themselves and they're being unable to deliver on it as they do try and get another one in. Itachi will keep the shot out. 3 goals to the better, 40 seconds left.
Yeah, for the last goal, it was an attempted back pass of sorts from Yukio, or, an infield pass in defense, you could say. But whenever you're infield passing to your 3rd man, it's always going to be a risky idea, whether it's an offense or defense. If the pass gets intercepted or if your 3rd man gets taken out of the game, it simply is a pass to your opponents. And that's what happened there. It turned out to be a pass to Barca after the demo came in. So, the idea was there for Dignitas. It's just the execution has let them down. They've tried to offload the ball to a teammate, and that teammate's been eliminated from the game. So, yeah, a fair dominant scoreline, I would say, for Barca in this game. There is a short burst of impressive gameplay there from Joreuz and Yukio, but apart from that, Barca were far, far better than them, and this is not a surprise to anyone who's watched this, the disappointing season of Dignitas so far, and also how impressive Barca looked in their earlier loss to BDS.
And for Barca, celebration time, because you've managed to score more goals in that game than you did in the entirety of the last series. It has been a goal fiesta for them as they take the 1-0 advantage. For Dignitas, this really was not the showing that we wanted to see for them. And we will look to see whether or not they can improve it. We have seen from Dignitas previously just, wholesale changes that can come through in those 60 seconds. But I think for that particular result, you got to be looking just saying, all right, let's just play better at the end of the day. You can't really look to overcomplicate it too much more than that because they weren't executing on their mechanics. And if you're not doing that, tactics sort of become a bit more irrelevant.
Yeah, it really is just as simple as that. You just have to be more accurate. You just have to be a little bit faster. We're not talking about revolutionizing their gameplay here. Even at this highest level, very small differences very small changes can make a huge difference to how a matchup plays out. And in order for Dignitas to level out the score here, I think the first step is consistency. They just need to start hitting every single ball hard, make sure that they get every single landing to work properly, that they don't miss any boosts. As long as there's no simple and silly mistakes, and at least they're going to give themselves half a chance in this match against one of the best teams in EU.
Oh, that's a booming clear. Yukio looks to try and get a hold of it. Will do so and lands well on the boost. That is good play from Yukio. Infield pass, Itachi backs down, realizes he hasn't got the angle, but Yukio very well might do. Off the crossbar, Violent Panda, he'll do well to try and turn this in. Starts to go off the backboard, but Ronaki will clean up. Good attempt, though, from Dignitas. It was a very difficult play, but still much more solid.
Yeah, that was promising. That was a lot better than we've been seeing from them on most offensive plays. The pressure did dilute pretty quickly, though. The one downside is they weren't able to keep the ball in the offensive half and produce any follow-up chances because, I think the drop-down pass from Panda was maybe not the the best option in the position. It's too much to ask for your third man to dive into that spot when there's goalkeepers everywhere. You don't want to go anywhere near that as that third man approaching an attack. You want a very clear rebound that's wide open on a backboard, something that isn't going to be contested.
Yeah, I think he might have been looking at that with how high the ball bounced up and just automatically gave up on the play. Decided to slow it down as much as he could. Maybe not actually try and get that third man in. It's Yukio again, second touch. Trying to become a target man in game number 2. Panda has been beat to it by Roniki. Itachi now looking for his opportunity. They have got the follow-up on the front of the goal, and Jorius has been going to the Barca Esports School of Defending. Off his own crossbar. Roniki over to Itachi. Good passing plays right now, but that is poor touch from Itachi, and Roniki will come in to cover for him.
Yeah, it was a difficult first touch to make. Itachi needed to, catch that extremely well in order to keep control of it. Changing the direction of the ball completely with the first touch is never easy, even for a player of Itachi's level. But just look at Roniki starting to flex the speed onto Dignitas. He wasn't able to do that against BDS, so he's been unleashed right now. And Dignitas, for now, are managing to hold on to this scoreline, keep it level, but it just feels like the Barca BDS game 1, really. It's a tie, but one team is having their way with the other.
Roniki need to pass a little bit more direct than that next time as Jorius flip reset, and that is going in, but not quick enough. Now it's Devo's turn. He has got Yukio up with him. Yukio doing well. There's just so many floating aerial challenges. They're just waiting for the ball to come over to them.
Oh dear. It's that little touch, it says a lot for me. Just that attempted hard clear, which the dodge just comes in a bit too early. The car doesn't really catch the ball as cleanly as Panda wanted to. And, it doesn't look like much, but that for me is a big deal. Whenever you see a team who are really just catching the ball clean on every single hit, you know that they're feeling good about their gameplay. You know they're playing well when, recoveries are landing well. And it's these small things that you can look out for to know if a team are playing at their best or if they're just feeling confident in a matchup. And that just did not look like a confident hard clear by Panda.
One thing that Dignitas do have going for them is the positioning of Yukio. He seems like he's the only player right now that is confident to stay downfield and trust the defense. Almost like Devo. What a goal that would have been. There's been a few attempts from Barca for some highlight reel plays. Now going to be going across the front of goal. And Panda blasts it bottom corner.
Perfect pass by Yukio. That is exactly what Dignitas needed, and you said it right. He's been the one player who's, putting himself in awkward positions for Barca to deal with. He's been tricky at times, and once again proves to be the cause of a goal, this time with the assist that Panda's able to smash over the line. That's the risk of Barca coming back to bite them. They went for a pre-jump offensive play there. That does tend to take 2 players out of the game. They left Itachi alone at the back, and he couldn't delay long enough for the rest of his team to come back. And now the net's wide open. Jorius makes it 2. Yukio with a second assist.
I just love the approach to this shot from Jorius. Make sure you get the spins, make sure you can find the angle so you can hit the ball not only on target, but you're hitting it with that corner of the car so you're getting as much power as you possibly can. Sometimes, especially for new viewers out there, it might look like they're just doing it for the sake of it, but there is purpose in every single motion in Rocket League. Some of it is just a quicker recovery. Some of it is just to get that little bit of a better touch than you would have done if you didn't do it.
Well, I got a chance to talk to Halfway Dead from Rocket Science recently, and he's explaining how the car's hitbox does not often center on its axial rotation, so sometimes spinning around can totally change the way that your hitbox interacts with the ball. Even if all you've done is spin 180 degrees on the spot, you're going to catch the ball in a different part of the hitbox and get a very different touch. At this level, very, very small changes can make a big difference into how a ball is clipped or shot on target like that. And you know what, the same could be said about the flight path. That takeoff there for Jorius, it's more deceptive if he's rotating. It makes it so much harder for the defender to read where the shot is going than if he just flies at it directly. And it gives him a bit of space and a bit of room for maneuvering on the way to the ball as well. Halfway through that rotation, he can tap his boost and have the car move slightly to the right or left. You'd have to watch this in 5% speed to really get to see all of the minute details and why Jorius is approaching that ball the way he is. But yeah, you can do that with any Rocket League aerial at this level. These guys, they've got such aerial control that they can. It basically looks like they're freestyling on the way to every ball, but you can trust me, they're just trying to get there as fast as possible and get the best touch on the ball when they do get there.
Yes, and this is a bit of a rabbit hole that we can end up going down, Johnny, because then we start transitioning into just going, okay, well, you see teams like G2 that have now started using that to cover their passing plays. But we're not going to. Instead, we're going to talk about the rabbit hole that the losing team of this series will find themselves in. Whichever one loses this, not out of the tournament yet, but 1-2 in record. You don't want to be there because that means you've got to start beating 2 of the best teams in Europe back to back. No more slip-ups allowed. This is probably one of the most important rounds in this tournament because this is where you set up just how difficult it's going to be for you in the clutch moments.
Yeah, I am surprised to see Dignitas get in that game. It looked like Barca had the run of the game going their way, but maybe they're getting a bit too careless with it, and now they're starting to get punished.
Oh,
what
done.
That is Itachi against 2 players. Evades the demo and gets the save at the top corner of his own goal. That's outstanding.
And I
want to see discipline from Barca, Shogun. They're going for pre-jump plays. They're going for very risky plays on 0-0 scores. We didn't see any of that from BDS when they were in a tie game.
No, certainly not. Again, I think Barca are just looking at this as a freedom for them.
Yeah.
That's the entire field. But what I do really love about that last play is the fact that he led Yukio to the furthest side of the goal away as he possibly could before turning. He just wants to give himself as much space as possible to work with. And it has been those little plays that have held Barca into such great defensive performances so far, even though they do keep catching themselves in a bit more trouble than they really should. Up to the wall, Devo taps the ball to himself. Difficult to try and follow up. Couldn't quite find the angle on the flip. He gets this one. Double match point. And Itachi would look to try and set up for it. Off the backboard, in comes Devo. And it's not a great shot. Bounces over for Violent Panda, who palms the ball away. Ronaki to the far corner. He's going to give Devo both ball and boost, but the collection wasn't all that great. Right now, my eyes are on Yukio. It feels like when Dignitas do find their magic, it is coming from him in some way or another. And Violent Panda, last one back, but Barca not figuring this out quick enough. Easy enough clear for him.
Yeah, Yukio's playing very fast right now. He's getting into position as quickly as he can, and when he's arriving in those positions, he's not hesitating at all. And I think we're seeing a little bit of hesitation from Jorius at times. That he is the new player in the lineup. He's a new player in this level of play coming into Season X, and he's definitely not as comfortable as the others. Just making those decisions on the fly and trusting himself fully. But yeah, Yukio, he is the one player for Dignitas so far who is being a nuisance to Barca. And Barca, they're starting to struggle to deal with them at times. He's getting in behind enemy lines and causing havoc when he gets there.
Drops down, Panda. Has got a shot on target. Follow-up for Yukio. He got there a little bit early as the ball turned over to him, but very difficult to try and predict what the next play was going to be when you see a defender going for a save. 2 minutes remaining here. Jorius hasn't got any options up with him. He's okay with that. He'll happily go solo. Gets the entire court transition for his team, and Itachi will respond in Sword. Now he can go try and set up off the backboard. Jorius against Itachi has turned into a bit of the match here in Game 3. Off the backboard yet again. Panda clears over to Jorius. First touch, and Jorius has had this a few times now where that first touch is a little bit too easily readable by the oncoming challenge. Might need to start covering that a bit more. Maybe, try and force the challenge early. Maybe pop the ball up a little bit. Just can't afford for it to happen. It's the shot straight into Jorius.
Yeah, great save there by the Dignitas rookie. Very important save as well. They've actually kept Barca scoreless for almost 2 games now. If they can just keep this up a bit longer, which is a surprise going into this game. It's a surprise looking at how the game was going, how the series was going. But it's also a huge upside to Dignitas run through today's Swiss bracket. If they can get the win here, they give themselves 2 chances in the following 2 series, potentially to win their way into the playoffs for the first time. And in the major, no less, that would be a massive upset to prevent Barca from getting into the 2-1 position. That's a great chance. Jorius caught it just at the same time as Itachi did. But Itachi didn't look very confident with that. He was trying not to own goal and almost waited too long in the process.
Yukio looks for the follow, ends up whiffing, shooting opportunity! Taken by Dignitas!
What?
1-0 up with 42 seconds left. This could be massive for them.
Wow, Devo just ended up out of boost. He only had 12 boost as he tried to close down that shot. couldn't get there. Jory is straight through the defense, has just cut this game wide open. 40 seconds left, and Dignitas are somehow on a streak. Ronicky with a double, he's hit it wide. And still Barca piling forward. Itachi wanted the center ball, but he actually drops it down into Violent Panda. Well, I don't know how it's happened, Shogun, but somehow Dignitas have found themselves in a winning position 2 games in a row, and it's Barca who have all the pressure on them.
This feels very much like an old school Cuxir sort of game where he scores 8 and then nothing for the next 2. Right now, Barca could do with anything but that. Got one more opportunity at this. They've forced the challenge, but Panda read that so well. And they've got the ball at the other side of the field. All the work to do.
Surely.
None of the time to do it. Double up for Dignitas. And they have got double match point.
That is ridiculous. I mean, this was a far better game from Dignitas, to be fair. The last game looked very messy, right up until the moment where they got the opening goal, courtesy of Yukio's really nice play down the left-hand side of the field. I don't think Dignitas looked that great. It didn't look like they had what it takes to beat Barca today. But that this game 3, if we just look at it in isolation, this was if we just look at just only this game and only this game alone, yeah, Dignitas definitely looked like they could beat Barca based on this. Barca didn't have anywhere near as much of a consistent threat, and they were being forced back more often. So yeah, this is definitely trending in a positive direction for Dignitas, but what have Barca done? Did they just lose focus a bit too early? You know, they win so easily in the first game. Yes, it was a tie in game 2, but it still looked like they were quite comfortable. And then we saw, a pre-jump play coming in for Ronicky at 0-0. They get hit on the counter-attack from that and concede. And ever since then, they just haven't looked like the same team. I think it might be the lack of discipline from Barca. They're not willing to sit on a tie game like BDS were and just keep churning out the simple plays, the no-nonsense pressure that does get you wins in those tight matchups.
Well, let's put this into context here, Johnny, about what this could mean for Dignitas, because, we've mentioned how the playstyle doesn't look locked in. We have mentioned that we don't necessarily think that they've been the stronger team of the 2 in this series, but let's say they qualify for playoffs. That is doubled up points from every other regional. And for a team that, is trying to find their identity, trying to find a playstyle that can work, it's so much weight off their shoulders to try and give themselves the space and the time needed to find that playstyle when they're not trying to chase after those top spots in the region, when they don't have to look at every tournament as a must-win. If they can do well here, they give themselves a lot of breathing room to figure things out.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And that pressure has to be, a contributing factor to, Jory is not being able to play as well as we know he can in this season up until this point. If they, like you said, can just lock in a whole bunch of points to this major and go in a much better position, instead of fighting for those top 16 spots, they'll just be very comfortably on the inside them. Yeah, that could be exactly what Dignitas need. And we saw it happen when they still had Astral in the roster. All it took was one good tournament run, and then suddenly they were one of the best teams in the world after, looking like a pretty failed roster to begin with. So yeah, Dignitas, they're just in the hunt for that one big result that can turn them into a top team once again.
Violent Panda wants a double tap. Devo followed him. They have looked across each other, and they have been in multiple major tournaments together. World Championships, you name it. 2 of the most storied players in the scene. Itachi over to Devo, and what a save. And there's going to be no follow-up for Barca. That frustration should be ramping up now. 2 games without a goal. They're now 2 minutes into this one and haven't scored. They have got to find something here. And a reminder again, game 1, they scored 5.
Yeah, there's 5 goals in 5 minutes and then no goals in what's approaching 13 minutes of gameplay. It doesn't really make sense that what has happened to Barca. They definitely will not. I don't think they're going to be able to make sense of this themselves either. They're going to look at this situation that they're in and think, what happened? we were playing so well. We were out playing Dignitas, and then suddenly, even though Dignitas don't look brilliant, we just can't score on them. Dignitas in game 2 didn't look fantastic, and Barca still couldn't get a goal to go in. So yeah, it's one of those really awkward situations for them. They don't know exactly how aggressively they should push for a goal, because they must have expected multiple just to come naturally. with how their offense usually plays out. That's more like it. That's the perfect pass. And Ronicky, no better player to be on the end of it.
Yeah, Itachi just doesn't overcomplicate it, plays the ball into the midfield, and let Ronicky blast it into the goal with no keeper in. There is going to be no better play for Barca to break their drought. And now with 2 minutes, Dignitas will look to respond. Jorius flip reset, doesn't get the best first touch. And a place to the corner, but Devo happy to play these on the walls every single time. The second flip, he's gone for this a few times now, and he's failed more times than he succeeded. But Itachi on that side, having a lot of success with his individual plays. Great angle from him, avoids the diving challenge from Violent Panda, but now he can take control. We've got Jorius in the midfield. It tries to aim it for him. It's not a great pass, though. And it was read as well by Devo. Risky from Violent Panda, almost gets his team caught. Now Itachi, probably to the far corner where Ronicky is residing. Itachi moving in. He's on 0 boost. The other team won't know about it. Barca want that second one. They want to give themselves a cushion.
Yeah, I think Barca's confidence may be back. They're flying into challenges now. They're trying to read bounces incredibly early. And, you know, that's how they won game 1. They were just so much faster than Dignitas. That Dignitas just couldn't compete. They couldn't keep up. And now we're starting to see Barca return to that kind of gameplay. They're not holding back, even though they have got 1-0 lead. They're pressing for the second one. And yeah, Dignitas, I'm not convinced overall by their performance today. I think Yukio, like I said earlier, he's had his moments, but I want to see more from them as well.
Certainly so. Still very much in this one. Jorius pops it. He's unchallenged. He might go the whole way. He almost got the set, but it's a crucial touch on the ball's trajectory downwards that prevented it from being set up for Dignitas to equalize the game. Now with just over 30 seconds left, Ronicky, infield, Devo moves in, and he can't get it. Jorius with a little bit of a panic move, but he has got the ball moving, and that is important for his team. Violent Panda moving in, but Itachi reads it. This is crucial for Barca. They just need to waste that time off the clock, as it is back into the midfield. Ronicky doesn't want to move forward. Violent Panda up. Violent Panda second to Ronicky.
Yeah, very fortunate for Dignitas that Devo is completely boost-starved in that infield passing play towards him just moments ago, but it won't mean much if they can't get a goal in the next few seconds. Now they've got none to work with. Will Barca be able to get this one at the ground? The Ronicky mind game, deliberate or not, will do the job. And Game 5 is coming. This has been a bizarre series. Barca dominated game number 1. We've seen moments of brilliance from Yukio in particular, but apart from that, I've really this is not a series that you want to write home about. Or none of these players will be downloading these saving these replays and getting highlight reels made out of it, because yeah, we can definitely see better from both of these teams. But you know, a result is a result. So this game 5, it is huge. So many points on the line in this format. So many points on the line in this major tournament. Whoever wins this gets the 2-1 record. They've got 2 attempts at getting that 3rd win that you need to get top 8 and play in next weekend's playoffs. Loser would need to win 2 in a row. So it doesn't really matter how we've got here. We're in a game 5. Let's see who can step up and perform in the clutch. History and the season so far would indicate that Barca are the likely victors, but this series has not really gone according to plan so far. Let's see how it goes.
No, certainly not. And when we do look at it at the end of the season, we won't be looking at the performances. We don't reward points based on how good you looked in the game. We reward points on how many series you win. And this is a crucial one for both of the teams. Violent Panda going to start us off on offense. He's got Yukio up in support, and he ends up whiffing it. Devo looks to transition. He was on 0 boost, just had to make sure that he did block. This is a difficult position now for Barca. Low boost on a lot of players. Couldn't get any on Ronicky. Is off the backboard. They're going to struggle to try and follow up. How much do Dignitas want to move this one forward? Itachi dives in. 0 boost for him. He's got it to work. He's stolen 100. And that should be Barca A-OK after a bit of a rocky start.
Yeah, that was dangerous, certainly. Low boost on all 3 members, but they still got the clutch saves. We saw them do that plenty times against BDS earlier today. Boost starved or no, they were still very good shot stoppers. But you're not going to stop that one. What a screamer by Violent Panda. 1-0, straight into the top corner. Itachi wanted the corner wall bounce. He got the flat wall at the side, and it's kicked out right into the middle.
Yeah, that is as good as an infield pass for Violent Panda, and he will not miss those. 1-0 up for Dignitas. I do feel like it's more crucial to Dignitas than it was for Barca for... Actually, I'm going to retract that statement because I've just seen what Barca not score for 30 minutes. Typically, I would say.
There you go.
As Barca will get it to 1 each. Yeah, there's been nothing typical about this series whatsoever, so...
That's a good pass by Ronicky. That's if we're going to talk positive, which we've not done a lot of, rightfully so, that was a good pass. I love the diagonal ball coming into play there. It makes it very hard for the goalkeeper to close the gap before the shot comes in. And with Devo's accuracy in that position, you really do expect Barca to equalize, and they have. So we're maybe getting back to what we expected from this series. Let's see if the rest of Game 5 plays out.
And shot this time not quite as strong. We have no right to really get too much power on it this time. But as Itachi on 0 boost. Itachi's had a lot of success actually with 0 boost plays. He's managed to at least try and show as if he has got some. So it's been difficult to read for Dignitas. Oh, great touch for Yukio that invites Ronicky in, and he'll happily accept the invitation. Race up into the midfield. Jorius realizes he's got to make contact, does not want Itachi having that for free. And seems like we're settling down here. 2 minutes play. Jorius just forcing the save. And, we have seen Barca a couple of risky double commits throughout the day. If you are Jorius, if you're anyone on Dignitas, you want to go for any play you can just to see if you can maybe convince them to go for another one.
Barca, it makes sense that they look like a more effective team when they're counter-attacking, because that's really the style that they go for against all the best teams in EU. That's off the post and into the middle. Panda's go side on it, going to dribble it clear. Only as far as Devo, though. Knocks it down to Ronicky. Oh, just off target for now, but not for long. Ronicky on the rebound from his own shot. 2-1 to Barca. Dignitas just could not face the right direction here. Everywhere they looked, they were just... Oh, I think Yukio just got face plant in the post there. Yeah, they just couldn't keep up with that play. It was on the wrong side of them every single time that they turned around.
Yeah, giving Ronicky one shot is a warning. Giving him a second shot is a crime. Should not ever allow it, even though he did well to put those into awkward positions. Jorius, he can actually move on to this, but it's going to be difficult. 2 players were committed. Devo recovers quick enough. I do like the rotations back so far from Barca. Booming clear from Violent Panda. Ronicky would have liked it. Can't quite take it. And a bomb from Jorius slows this down for Dignitas. Allows Barca to reset themselves, and Dignitas struggling to figure out how they're going to get out of their final third. Here is Jorius on the ball, 7 boost, now down to 0. Ronicky pops the ball out, and Panda was able to get one of those earlier on that he was able to lever into the net. Barca needs to be very careful where they're putting that ball when they try and transition. Ball over to Itachi, fast side, and Jorius keeps it out. Crucial
save by Jorius. Still Barca coming forwards, and that's a very good pass. Nobody's there for it. Looks like Devo and Ronicky both went to the midfield for boost at the exact same time. So slight opening in the rotation for Dignitas to escape out of defense through. And now here comes Ronicky down the middle. Finds a bit of a pinch pass into his teammate. And oh, what a shot by Itachi. It didn't really matter if he called Ronicky off. Look how much faster he got up for this one. Once again, the corner wall coming in. Clutch for Barcelona, 3-1. And you think, now finally, we're going to get the result we expected.
Itachi very much overachieved with that shot, I would say. That was a rocket. And Ronicky very smart to back down to give him the space they needed for that one. 2 goals now needed for Dignitas. Well, they might be able to scrape their way through to a 2-1 lead, or 2-1 score on the day. As he's going to drop down, a 4th would do it. Devo looks for the setup, can't quite get it past Yukio, but it does look chaotic, but it's chaos that works for Barca.
Oh, man, Devo just avoiding a dunk there. It's a little bit risky, but it's worked out for now.
Devo's not rotating back, all right? He is in this side of the field now.
He can't. He's had no boost this entire series. I feel like every time I go to Devo's POV, he has no boost. It might have just been one of those series where he just can't get up to speed, but oh, he's made a good save there regardless. No momentum, of course. But yeah, Devo has really struggled to get the pace going in this series. And yeah, Ronicky hasn't been the standout player that he sometimes is in RLCS Season X. But luckily for them, Itachi has played very, very well. I think the Barca will be thanking Itachi for getting them through this very awkward series against the Dignitas team who have proven to be much tougher to beat than most of us expected, given their season so far. But, you know, despite the result being close, I'm still pretty worried for Dignitas moving forward into the rest of the day. This was a performance with quite a few gaps in it. You know, they didn't look confident. They were not able to just even make consistent power shots on the ball when they're attempting to clear it at times. So yeah, Dignitas, yeah, still haven't found the answers to their problems. They're in fact going to get another problem to add to the list, and that is that they're now 1-2 in the overall score. They need 2 series wins in a row if they're going to progress to next weekend. Barca still on track for that 3-1 or 3-2 that Gibbs is hoping for. But yeah, that was a thank you Itachi kind of series, I think.
Yeah, it certainly was. I think there was a lot of players stumbling all over the place. I think Yukio started off very solid, but he then gave away a lot of space to Jorius, who, whilst he had a lot of the ball, I feel like he struggled to really make enough of it to give the team that many opportunities. But it was also an awful lot that was put onto his shoulders. But we'll have a chance to look through all of that later on. Instead, when we come back from a quick break, it's time for Galaxy Racer to take on Top Blokes.